Everyone, I am here with MacRae Wylde. You actually may know MacRae through his daughter, the famous Fiona Wylde, the star sup and windsurf goddess that we see ripping it up all around the world these days. But today, it's all about MacRae. MacRae is just back from a trip or a winter in Baja, where how many days of wind foiling did you do?
I got 63 days.
Have you ever windsurfed that much in a winter in Baja?
Never.
So
Never.
what changed? What is about this wind foil that allows you to get on the water so much?
The foil itself lets you go out in pretty much any conditions, light wind especially, heavy wind, and it really didn't, as long as there was some wind, I could go windsurfing.
Okay, some wind, it's a little vague. What kind of mile an hour? What do you think your wind minimum is with the wind foil?
I had days where it was blowing 7 on the beach and probably 1 or 2 miles an hour more than that on the water.
Okay, so 8 or 9 miles an hour wind. What size sail are you reaching for if you're going wind foiling?
5'4".
5'4". How is that possible? 5'4" and 9 miles an hour wind. How are you up and going?
Once you get up on the foil, all you need is enough wind to pull you up onto the foil, and then you start hitting your apparent wind. In 9 knots of wind, I can hit pretty much the foil's max speed, right around 25 miles an hour.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the gear. Let's start with the rig from the top down.
Okay.
Will any sail do?
Any sail will do. You probably want to err to the side of smaller rather than bigger. I would say somewhere between like a 4.5 and a 5.4 is where you want to start. The rule of thumb when you're first going out is if you can water start with a sail, you're going to feel overpowered when you first get going.
Okay, which brings us to then the board, because if you're not water starting, you're uphauling.
Right.
What's the ideal board size for learning wind foiling?
My rule of thumb is you need a board that you can comfortably stand on and uphaul. So I really like 100 liters to like 115. Having a little bit more width, more than like a wave board, is really good, because the foil, what'll happen is if you don't have the width, you're going to be tweaking your ankles a lot. You do this sort of with your ankles.
So you want your feet.
So you want your feet a little bit farther away from the rail, or away from the center line, out on the rail. So having like a 63 to 68 inch or centimeter board is probably right about the right size.
Great. So we get a lot of calls here, big ones, from people saying, I've got a slalom board or a free ride board from 2000 or 1990 something with the Tuttle box, which seems to be somewhat of a requirement for a foil like this, like LP that we sell here at Big Winds. Will older gear work, and is that wise to learn on it?
Yeah, no, it would be great. You can, as long as it's got a Tuttle box, preferably it's the deep Tuttle box, and that you get the deep Tuttle insert on your foil, and you should be able to just plug it right in and go sailing.
Okay, and what about now, maybe we should flip this over and take a look at how you set up the foot straps.
When you're just starting, my recommendation, the first thing I would do is take off your back straps altogether.
Okay.
Because you're going to be trying to figure out where to put your weight and your balance and your foot, and the back, just as you're getting going, you're going to want to be able to put your foot in the middle sometimes, a little bit forward, and then back. So having this whole space available to put your foot and move it around will really help you get started.
Okay.
It's really important to keep the front foot strap, because the front foot strap actually locks you to the board.
Yeah.
So when you're first getting started, you want to actually pump up onto the foil with your front foot in the strap. So the trick to doing that is to load up your sail a little bit with your foot out of the strap.
Yeah.
Maybe do 2 little pumps just to get moving, and then put your front, as soon as you can comfortably, put your front foot in the strap, put it in. Then you're going to take 2 big pumps. One will sort of load the whole sail, and the next one is going to lift you up. And what you're really doing is pulling on the boom and tipping the mast back, which also sets weight on your back foot. And that will generate enough lift to pull you out of the water.
Okay, I've got something really simple that I'm a little embarrassed to ask, but I got to, because these things are pretty big and pretty wonky.
Yeah.
How do you carry your foil board and your rig to the water?
Oh, well, it took me a little while to figure it out, because I definitely was struggling for a while. And a lot of people have said, well, that the easiest way is to take it apart and take one piece down and set it in the water, take the other and hook it up together. The problem there is if you have rocks, wind, waves, which we have them all here. So somehow you got to figure out a way to do it where you can go.
Brother.
Okay. Okay. So, instead of carrying the board with the foot strap, I will roll the foil whole thing up, pick up on the outer rail, and I can support the board on my harness a little bit and carry it like that. And as long as I have this rail tipped up and into the wind actually is lifting the board. And
so MacRae, it's blowing 4, maybe 5. It's close.
It's close. Yep.
Hey, I want to thank you so much for coming by and sharing these tips.
No problem.
Fantastic tips for foiling. As you all know, we do carry LP wind foils, and we're just about to receive some foil boards and foils from Starboard and JP. Feel free to check them out on bigwinds.com. MacRae, thanks again. We'll see you on the water.
Okay.